Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome in. This is Taco coming at you with a new deck tech. I haven't been around for a while, mostly because I'm getting settled into the new format. I've been trying a couple of different deck archetypes and built a couple of different things, and haven't been happy with anything but this one. This one I've been relatively happy with. So, this is my first deck tech video for Amonkhet. Let's get into it then. This is a Rakdos burn deck. Kind of aggro burn. I originally got the original deck list idea off of Star City Games. Or no, off of TCG Player. There was an article that was posted on a Rakdos burn deck, and I kind of took that, played it a little bit, and made some modifications to where I'm more comfortable with it. I like the way it flows better. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Alright, so for our main deck, we have 4 Canyon Slows. I like this because you can cycle it late game. I mean, the comes into play tapped early game is, it slows down a little bit, but being able to cycle it late game to draw a card, or, sometimes you get too much mana. It's been kind of nice. Plus, it's a Swamp Mountain for the Foreboding Ruins, so we got 4 of those in. Pretty self-explanatory. Then we're running, looks like 9 mountains. 2 Smoldering Marsh. And then 4 swamps for total 23 lands. Alright, so our 1-drops, we have Beaumont Courier. Really good with the Flame-Bladed Depths. You can cycle your hand out and give your Flame Blades a bonus based on the number of cards you discard, or you can use this to get in some early damage, or just give you a new hand eventually. Always good as a 1-drop. Plus, it's an artifact, which is going to fuel our unlicensed disintegrations. We got 3 Flame-Bladed Depths. This guy is pretty good for a 1-drop. His Menace gives him that little bit of evasion, and he works with the rest of the deck, kind of syncs in with some of the madness stuff and the discarding in order to give him a little bit more power when he attacks sometimes, which is really nice. I got 1 of Lightning Axe. This is a pretty good creature to destruction. I mean, it destroys what I need when I need it. I've been debating back and forth as whether or not to replace this in the main with the cut to ribbons. But so far I've been keeping Lightning Axe because of the Madness Inducer, and it deals that extra damage, which is nice. You have 4 Blood Rage Brawlers. This guy's new. Super impressed with this guy. 2 mana 4/3 is just really good stats, and played correctly, you can drop an Elms or a Fiery Temper or something to him, just get off that extra damage as well, which is really nice. We got 3 Keys to the City. Super good card. Madness Inducer. Makes damage cut through, and then will draw me cards late game as well. This card has been a star in quite a bit of games. I'm running 3 Scrap Heap Scroungers just for the extra aggro. Gives me a little bit quicker deck, and the extra artifact for the unlicensed disintegration is nice as well. 2 Tormenting Voice. I like this, having this in there once in a while to get a Madness Inducer and just flush my hand a little bit. But I haven't really found anything I want to replace this with yet. So far, I don't see it that often in my games. When I do see it, I like to use it. I mean, you get to discard a card and trigger the Flame Blade, do Madness, stuff like that, and then you get to replace 2 cards, and you never know what you're going to find there. So far, it's been okay. I got four elms. This card is amazing. It the life swing has saved me in a lot of games from death. Where my opponents, they try to do lethal, and I'll drop an elms to something, and just stay out of that death range, give me an extra turn, while it's at the same time decreasing their life total, which has been pretty nice. 4 fiery tempers. That one's pretty explanatory. I don't really need to go through that. 3 damage, madness, super good. 3 sin prodders. I've been liking this guy. I used to play. There's a few different cards. Essentially, from the original list, it's been modified a little bit, and Sin Prodder is something I'm trying out currently. So far, I like him. I mean, 3/2 menace. He's got the evasion. He's he draws some targets, which is nice. But it's his ability to net me extra cards, especially with the aggro of the deck. Your opponent doesn't want to burn themselves down too quickly, and in the late game, he just draws me extra cards essentially, which is really helpful. So 3 of those. 4 on License Disintegrations, pretty self-explanatory. Destroy creatures, deal damage to your opponent, yay. Instant goodness. Hezret the Fervent. I like this guy. He's been super good. Every time he's dropped, he's done something, except for one game I was against the Mono Black Zombies, and he got grasped right away, but other than that, when he's dropped, he's his ability to fuel madness. He is haste. He's won me a bunch of games with that. And just dishing out in the control matchup, I've been able to drop him and just start dishing out his 2 damage, which has been super good as well. I think I want another one of these, but I currently don't own one, so I've only been running 2. So I would like to see a third. Hezret's been kind of a star of a show whenever he shows up. So that's the main. That's the 60. Let's go over to the sideboard. And then we got 2 magma sprays. It's good against the aggro smaller decks, the mirror matches. Definitely exiling things like Scrap Heap Scrounger and stuff like that has been really good. I like the fact that they reprinted this card. I'm super happy about it. Release the Gremlins, we got 2 of. I know that there's a new Red X Destroy Artifact cards, but currently I still like the Release the Gremlins because it gives you that little bit of tempo by giving you the Gremlin tokens. So I've been thinking about running that in this one. I want to keep this one in here because it's all about the aggro, and I want to keep that board presence available. So this has been what I've been running. We have 1 Avacyn's Judgment. I like this because in the weenie decks against say Mardu vehicles, if you ever see one anymore, because that's pretty much dead. It's been going away. You get those little 1 toughness creatures and stuff like that. I like being able to split the damage. And then this, if madness induced, can become pretty good in the late game. I'm not overly impressed with it yet. I'm not sure if it's going to stay in the deck. I already had it at 2. I cut it down to 1. So we'll see how that goes. Just as I look at more about how the meta unfolds, basically at my local shop, because that's what this is all about, meta at my local shop. So we'll have to see how that goes around. We got 2 Collective Brutalities. This card's been pretty good. I like it. Madness Inducer does a lot of different things that I need it to do. I don't think it takes much explaining there. So we got 2 of those. Dispossess. This is something new that I tried this weekend. Overall, it did me well. I was in a game day. I top forward. I think I could have gone a little farther if I had the Hennies in at that time. But top 4 is good enough. But Dispossess, this card was really good in game 2 of a blue-red tower deck matchup, and I managed to slip through their counter spells. They didn't have much for counter in the hand, and I was able to dispossess the towers, and then a little bit later I drew the second dispossess, and I was able to dispossess the gearhooks out of the deck. My opponent was a little counter light that game, but getting rid of 2 of their win conditions really helped me to get through that game. In game 3, I believe I squeaked it out with a Chandra and Hazaret. Speaking of Chandra, we got 2 Chandras of Torch of the Defiance in here. I like this in the controls mid-game matchups. Getting it onto the board, you get a consistent source of damage. I did get an emblem off once this weekend, and it's been pretty good. I also like this in some of the mid-range matchups because the ability to deal 4 damage to a creature will take out a lot of stuff too, which has been nice. We cut the ribbons. I don't have an image for it yet. I forgot to go grab the images for the dual cards, but whatever. Essentially just sorcery. Sorcery, 2 damage, or 2 mana for 4 damage to creature, flashback or aftermath, essentially, of a 2 black and X to deal, each opponent loses X life, so it's one of those new cards. It's been good in testing, but in this particular deck, I'm still iffy on it, given the sorcery speed, 4 damage to a creature is not bad, but it seems like the aftermath is kind of mediocre. I don't do a lot of damage with it, so it's basically just a late game finisher if I bring it in. But the problem is I don't see it doing a lot because you don't have a lot of land. I see this if there was like a Mardu control deck that came out or something that did that, I think Cut to Ribbons would be a lot better card. Or perhaps in like a Grixis control environment where you have the counter spells and stuff like that. I think Cut to Ribbons becomes a much better card because it can be a game-winning finisher. But currently in the aggro deck, the ribbons part is kind of mediocre. It's more about the cut and the potential for the ribbons. So, I don't know. 2 Yehani's Expertise. I really wish I had put this in the deck this weekend. I came up against Mono Black Zombies. I had to face it twice. And I think I would have done a lot better. I think it's hard to beat Mono Black Zombies without a board wipe. I did a lot of spot removal and got rid of stuff, but eventually they just explode every once in a while and just get, 3-4 creatures onto the board. And it just wasn't working out for me. I took it to game 3, and the second time I had to face it, which was good. I got my sideboard a little bit more figured out for that, but I definitely needed these in there, and they should be able to play a lot better with them. And the last one, we got Never to Return. It's the new replacement for Ruinous Path. It's slightly better. You got 3 mana, destroy target creature or planeswalker, and then return you got 4 mana, exile a card from a graveyard, make a 2/2 zombie token. So slightly better, as in you get to split up the creature base, or your creature production out of it. Ruinous Path, you had to pay the overload, but this one you can at least do as needed. Okay, well, that is the current 75. Thanks for coming in, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll do some games in a bit.